Hi, it's Simon, and today I was going to share a video about the void in Tai Chi, this aspect of being balanced. And then some things have happened, as often happens in life, and we may not be in the right headspace, the right mood, the right state. Now we could choose to change our state. If you've been around things like NLP and mindset, other aspects of internal, external work, often they have to of learning how to step into a state. Often one of the examples we talk about in training courses is the fireman at the fire office. So they're there waiting in the firehouse, and second that bell goes, they have to jump, switch state, get dressed, and head out on the fire engine to go save people's lives. The same in medical, often in the A&E departments. And in life generally we don't have that challenge. Sometimes the first time people have that experience is with children. You can be super chilled, super relaxed, and then you'll hear something, and in that moment know you need to go take action. You can't just put it off to tomorrow. So with that said, there's also something about being able to really deal with other people and what they say and do, how you can choose to interact. And I'm clear that even though we know this about ourselves, it's easy to find ourselves getting pulled or pushed by other people, to have a backlog of stuff that's built up, people's assumptions, their implications, their presumptions, all these things that get in the way of us really being truthfully happy. Now if I look around the garden here, there's nature. They're not really worrying about these leaves here. They're not making legal contracts and having courts to fight about their civil rights and their tort. They're just being trees. Now the challenge is in their environment. If an animal wants to come and eat it, it will. If you wanted to dig that up and move it around the garden, you could. Even the question of where to plant them, they may not have that consciousness, that choice. And it is a question about how much we get to say and choose, and how much we live in the environments of ourselves and other people, and how we choose to react and interact with other people too. In the last few weeks we've seen how, let's just say, people haven't understood some of the dynamics, and it's been really challenging to see how people have realized that how they thought things were and what was likely or possible or possibly even going to be their reality has shown up. And that can happen in a moment, in an instant. And it's happened in the last 100 years more than once. We have these sad great wars that took place, millions of lives lost. We've seen this happen again and again, where a single incident can alter everything in a moment. Whether it's a natural disaster like an earthquake or tsunami, whether it's man-made, whether it's these acts of God or whatever you want to call it, there's something about how life can surprise us. And I think often when we are sailing on the sea of life and we think we have it all handled, something can come up to rock the boat. And as much as we can imagine ahead of time how we're going to behave and what's going to happen, it's not until you get into that moment that you have to deal with it and realize that actually you could be in a risky situation, in a dangerous situation. I remember being at a zoo recently, well, not really a zoo, but an exhibit, an art exhibit, and they had this glass floor. And as you walked on it, there was a sound of cracking glass. And it was like, because in that moment you suddenly went, I'm out of control, this could be something really quite dangerous. Often they have that at these tall towers around the world, and I don't think that's by chance. I think it's something about humanity that we both like to be excited and stressed, we like to learn and grow until we don't. At the same time, it's why we like dramatic movies and dramatic stories. It's why we go on adventures. And often I think the beauty of life is having those. And sometimes the adventures can be bigger than we realize. It can take more of us to handle the energy, the input, and understand who we're dealing with and what they're dealing with. So I don't have all the answers. I'm just present to that. Tomorrow we might talk about the void a bit more. We might talk about how there's this aspect of a human being which almost has zero ability to withstand input. So often when you're standing straight, the void is straight on. And what I mean by that, it's almost like when you're doing that with Tai Chi and having the experience of feeling it and noticing it, that the void is asking to be pushed into. It's sort of like the line of least resistance, but it's not even resistance. It's actually a space of no resistance. And that's quite unique because often there is a tension, there is a cost of energy, time and focus to do things. And it's very rare that we have a zero cost activity. And the void touches on that and points on that. It's very dynamic, it's very exciting, and it's something I learned a lot about doing Tai Chi. And I've seen how with people and projects, often they are pushing not into the void. They're not even understanding there is a void, and they're pushing against a brick wall. Over here we've got these great big limestone rocks, and reality is if I wanted to push on these, I could be pushing for a long time. It's not going to go anywhere. But if I push here, where there's nothing, there's no problem. So that's not the whole story about the void, and we'll come back to that in another video. But I just want to thank you for watching and wish you a great afternoon, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.